It's time for Leather Podcast.
Here we go. Oh, you hear us?
Hey.
Yeah.
That's us. That's us now.
Yeah, he's fine, man.
What's happening?
Are we live?
We're recording.
We're going now.
So we've obviously got a different
Please
one
do not
today.
say fuck a bugger.
Bugger.
How's the weather in Mexico? Mexico?
Shite, mate. I hate it. Hate everything about holidays. Hate having to be out of routine. Hate the fact that somebody tells me what to eat at what time to eat. Hate buffets.
Is that because it's
Hate
all
fans.
inclusive? Is that what it is?
Aye, it's great for the family. Family love it. You know, you can just go up and drink as much as you want, eat as much food as you want. But for me, I absolutely hate it. I hate the fact that it's the same shitty grey food. It's like, and obviously I'm vegetarian, so I'm like, what veggies have you options have you got? And it's like, you can have chips, you can have pizza, or you can have an array of fucking really stale vegetables that nobody wants to eat, and they've probably been lying there all day. So I hate it. It's a really nice. I know, it's a really, really nice hotel. Everything's great about that side of it, but it's just my routine. It's like that ADHD kicking in where I'm like, I hate this. I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym every morning at the same time. Morning session, afternoon session. I want to eat the same food I eat every single day, and I can't do it.
Can you? Is there any place you can like train or that, or get a role with anybody? Is there any sort of shit like that there? I know Mexico's quite. You kind of need to stay in the same bit in some places in Mexico, innit?
Oh, can you not move about? No. Can you move about where you are, or is it cartel country?
So we're in like a gated kind of community, but you can drive into Cancun. We've taken the kids in there, but the gym they've got in the hotel's an absolute belter. So I've been going every day. I've been doing this barefoot running. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen you doing it in Airdrie, man. I didn't see you doing it in Mexico.
We're running a dog shit.
Fuck, are you filming for the new Jungle Book or something?
So the first time I went and done it, it was the Sunday or the Monday. It must have been the Monday after my fight. I went, right, I had been reading this book. It was about barefoot running. I went, I'm going to get a blast. I'm going to see if it helps. Explained to Adam what I was going to do, and he thought I was taking the piss. So I walk up to the top of the hill. Like there's like this forest trail that runs right down the back of my garden, and it's maybe like a mile. So I walk up to the top of the hill with the kids and the dog, give my shoes to the kids, and they walk back down, and then I start off running. Right, within the first 2 seconds, I'm like, right, this is all right. And then you know the big grey chuckies you get.
Oh, aye.
The ones that it would be great if you were flying it like a train or something like that to try and pan a windy. They kind of guys, they're everywhere. So I'm trying running this, and it's like
tons of Lego.
Everything. It's like every single step I'm taking is like absolutely horrendous. So then I say I'm going to run in the grass. So I start running in the grass, and I'm like, oh, this is easy. This is brilliant. But because the grass is right next to the path, there's the odd chucky you don't see, and you stand on it and it absolutely caves your knee in. You're like,
yeah.
What's the benefits of this? What's the benefits of running barefoot? Just to toughen the feet up?
It strengthens up the ankles, it strengthens up the knees. Right. So it comes down to one of these things where it's like we evolved to run barefoot. We never evolved to run with shoes on. But here's my counter to that. Although we evolved to run with bare feet, that was in like sand, that was in dirt. It wasn't in built up areas where there's massive stones, there's loads of glass, there's loads of shit everywhere. So I do understand that. So that first run was fucking atrocious, man. Like my feet were tattered after it. So then I started running in Vibrams, you know, the toe shoes.
Aye.
So I've been running in them in Mexico. Aye. So I've been running in them in Mexico, and I'm going to persevere with it for another couple of weeks and see if it helps me. The only thing it has done is fucked up my running gait. So the way I would normally run has to change to suit this the way I'm running now. So it's meant to be really, really good for your body, but I'm not feeling it yet.
So what are you running on over there? Is it just like
sand? Aye,
just sand and like pavement.
Aye, so it's like there's a wee trail that runs right the way down past our hotel and the sister hotel. So I've just been running along the beach. That kind of stuff's cool. Like nice view, you feel good. But I'm not sold on it yet. And I know there's people obviously out there who are massive fans of toe shoes and massive fans of barefoot running. But right now, as it stands, it can go and fuck itself.
Are you staying in any like excursions, pyramids or that? Or are you just staying in the complex and stuff?
No, I've taken the kids. We went to this place called Shell Ha, so it's like an adventure park. And one of the things the kids wanted to do is swim with dolphins. Mm-hmm. Right, for me, I am not interested in swim with dolphins. Right, I am terrified of fish. I know.
Full old man mode, like,
family holiday, and he's sitting there like this is the London smashing cunts for Brazil and London, know what I mean?
I know. So, like, as I said, I hate that kind of shit. So we go in, and I'm totally against having animals in captivity anyway. But the kids are like, "Oh, Dad, can we go and see the?" So we go and see the dolphins. We end up swimming with them.
Let your dog free, then.
Aye, but they're designed to be a companion, whereas the dolphins aren't a companion. They're like forced to be in these wee. So anyway,
I agree that.
The woman's like, so we end up. You grab one of his dorsal fin, and then it takes you a wee ride. Right, and I was shitting myself because I said I'm terrified of fish. So then you have to then put your hands open like this, and the dolphin comes up and swims in and all that kind of shit. I'll show you the picture now. I was shitting myself. Wait till you see this picture. It comes in a wee fancy book. Keys this book. Like the family's pictures all look brilliant, but you should see the fear in my face. And it was like, give the dolphin a kiss, and I'm like, get yourself a fuck. I am not kissing this dolphin.
Fuck, you've kissed worst.
Look at the fear in my face.
I'm having a bad time.
So
they're the nicest creatures ever.
I was having a horrible time. The kids were ripping me. Aye, but they're still fucking, like, they're massive. You might see how powerful they're as well. Like, see the actual, so see as you're holding onto the back of it done this kick with its tail, and it caught me in like the leg, and it's like, oh yeah, that's actually got some power in it. But it was a cool experience. Kids loved it.
The Waynes love it.
And then there's loads of these like snorkeling. You can go under the water with this helmet and walk about. Same again, absolutely terrified. Like fish try to swim up to the face, and the wee guy that was taking the tour kept spraying this stuff. So it was like a bottle, and it must be like some sort of feed. And he sprays it, and then you have to walk through the fish. But he can't hear me screaming. I'm like, stop fucking doing that! Stop! And he walk through the fish. I'm like, like pure panicking. The kids, like my kids are both fucking pissing themselves because I think it's hilarious that I'm terrified of fish. And this guy kept spraying it because he thought I was liking it. And there's this point where like I'm underneath the water and I'm just hysterically laughing, and they think they think I'm enjoying this, and I'm like, no, I'm actually in hysterics because I'm fucking panicking. Like I'm sweating thinking about it. And then there was this kind of stuff where you do all these kind of fun activities like rope jumping into cliffs, flying foxes into waters, all this kind of cool stuff. But the highlight of the whole trip that day, I got into the bus, and it's maybe like a 20-seater bus. It's no massive. And I sit in a seat, and the family all sit in the seat. I sit in my seat myself because I'm a bit wider, and I can't put my knees in front of the seat in front. Like I can't get my legs under, so I have to kind of sit at the side a wee bit. And this woman comes in, and she's like, "You're going to have to move and go and sit." And I was like, "No, I'm sitting here." I was like, "You can go and sit inside next to the window." So she was raging the fact that I wasn't moving for her. I was like, "No, like you go and sit in next to the window. I need the space for my legs." I was on time. You were fucking late, so I made her sit in there. So because my shoulder was over her side of the seat, she went ape shit at me and started fucking barging me and like, do not, like she was just Mexican. She's like, it's Mexican. She's like, do not touch me. You're fucking disgusting. So I just fired in my headphones and just like I knew she was going to be a dick. But then, as we get closer, she was like nudging. This is like a 45-minute fucking journey for me, and this bitch is going off in my ear. Like I could hear her, although I had the headphones in. I could hear her, and she's banging, and she's like, "Do not touch me. This is assault." And I'm like,
"Oh my god!
Don't touch my car. That's assault."
So like, as I'm getting off to go because I get to a hotel and I'm leaving, the woman's like, "Oh, thank God! You just spent 45 minutes touching me," and I'm like, "Shh, just." I'm like, you're a grown woman.
You just shush her.
You're a grown woman, and you're acting like. Honestly, I had enough, and I was like, you're a grown woman. You're acting like a fucking dick. And she's like, so she starts like shouting and screaming. And all these people in the bus are turning and looking at me. I was like, shut the fuck up, you stupid cow. I was like, where's your husband? I was like, where the fuck's your husband? I'm going to bar him. Like, I was fucking raging the time because it was like 45 minutes her being an absolute douchebag. As I said, I just kind of went like,
that's like the worst thing ever, man.
Where is your husband?
Aye, and then I was like, where's your fucking husband? I'm going to back this fucking melting. Absolutely lost my shit as I'm leaving this bus.
I do like
but
to
the
see
kids
that.
in that I waited till the kids were off the bus. I turned and I was like, where the fuck's your husband? Because I was absolutely fucking ready to write record plays. And like, there was a guy sitting like a few seats down who looked up at me. And I looked straight at him. So it was like this moment I was like, you see the husband? The guy just turned around and like, dropped off.
Are you the guy? Are you the fucking guy?
His phone. No, I'm definitely not with her.
The guy's like, no, me. But it was that was some experience. But another first for me, obviously swimming with dolphins was a first. The Mexican food wreaks havoc in the fucking lower colon. Another first for me was a shat in the shower. Never experienced that before.
While we were showering?
Accidentally or intentionally?
What's going
No,
on?
I farted and
Details?
shat myself.
All right, okay.
So, mate, we've all been
I'm
there.
saying, I've got a sponge, I'm waiting the body, and I'm like, there's a wee fart coming. Then I get in there, a wee, and next thing, I'm like, I've just shot myself. I had to get the fucking hose off and hose myself down. I was fucking 3 years old, man. Covered in fucking shit.
That's that Mexican granola, bro.
Mate, the food, as I said, the food is tough. Like, Mexicans must have an arsehole like fucking iron, because everything's spicy. Everything, like, even the guacamole is wreaking havoc in my stink hole.
No call it back.
Right, apart from that,
No call it back for Bo Nickel yet.
no, none of that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, I've been looking for it as well.
Nah, he's not wanting any of this smoke. You know that. Talking about college, did I get blocked off social media by somebody?
You did.
I don't know, I just seen what Ross had wrote.
Aye, Jamie blocked you, mate, for calling him a pellet, I think.
What a fucking little douchebag. You clip this video up, he's a fucking douche.
I saw Adam at the gym last night and it was him who told me. He'd been doing a session with Dylan Took. So, and then Adam was coming out, stood and had a chat with him and he was talking about the fight and he was like, hey, what's going on? It's went all quiet at his end, which it kind of has. So I need to give Chris Duncan a wee message, chase him up and say, what's going on here? I thought we were arranging a fight and I'm not hearing anything. So I almost feel like I'm not that optimistic. I'm training anyway. I'm training a couple of times.
Ross has been in putting the work in, mate, when you've been away, man.
I'm in twice. Well,
I've seen that, mate.
I go to JD I go to JD gym in the mornings before work.
Aye,
And
but that's for gay people, isn't it?
Aye, a lot of like Hera t-shirts.
Aye.
And a lot of like
Low
fucking
cut vests, man. That's where you can wear that, innit?
Birds and Gymshark leggings where you can actually full on see their
What?
fucking curtains. I
Aye.
didn't get that.
What about, see some of these leggings though, they're doing these lassies a lot of favours, man.
Why no?
See the one that actually shapes
The
their
ones
arse for
that
them?
lift?
Aye.
Why
It's
not
like
wear a
that,
pair that
your arse
actually
isn't
fit you
under
though?
it.
Or see the other one I never understand with them, like girls doing deadlifts in these leggings. They're fully aware that when they lean over, for the back, you can see the entire fucking thing. Eh?
Aye.
Like they know.
The minge.
Aye, a blind man could read that Braille in Jumanji,
I
man.
don't know. What's it like? We need a dress code in the gym because it's just not a place for whoring, eh? Man's doing there trying to get a fucking workout in.
One minute, Ross. You have your dress code for the MMA gym. I understand that. Don't waste the fucking normal gym for us bros, man.
Aye, there's older boys in there who fucking no seen a minge in a good while, right enough. But it's not on, mate. It's one of my pet hates.
Aye.
It's inappropriate wear, and then it's the only place I can wear the racer back vest.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening with you, Chris? You sold it. You've sold this fucking arena out. You've sold this venue.
Not just me. To be fair, Reece McCoon's on
It's
it.
just you.
And he's sell.
I thought he was signed to the UFC.
No, Reece McCoon, the Scottish one.
Oh, McEwen, sorry.
Aye,
I'm
no
saying Reece McKee. My apologies.
So me and him are the only ones in Perry, obviously, that have been announced. So we've been gave like a ticket link. So like there's about 500 people coming down from Scotland.
Easy.
It's got to be mental.
The amount of group chats I've been added to do with this is mental. Like, where are you sitting? What's happening? Who's got people?
So-
I'm in group chats for booking trains, for booking ticket. I'm like, what the fuck? It's months away.
Newcastle's only 2 hours away, so it's easy, you know what I mean? But so Reece has got so that Lochran got fucking signed to the UFC, so that title's vacant. So I think he's maybe looking to fight for a title on the Newcastle
And
show.
is that because for what I'm seeing everywhere on social media, that is going to be what happens.
I don't think no official, no. But they're talking him and Fletcher fighting maybe for it. Fletcher's a guy for next year in Liverpool, so I think they tour up. So it'd be good for another Scottish guy to get a crack at
100%.
a Cage Warriors title, and then hopefully maybe bring it to fucking Scotland. I know we've been asking for ages, but I don't know, man. Like
they just didn't seem to want to do it.
I know, but I've only got one fight after the Perry fight. I've only got one fight in my contract, so I would love a wee Scottish show. You know what I mean? And
but that's not going to be an issue.
No,
one fight.
No, because I'd go anywhere, mate. I would love like maybe PFL, Octagon, Octagons in Germany, or Dana White's Contender
Series. This is
series.
getting big now. This Octagon, I'm seeing this more and more.
KSW Day shows be like 100,000 people at them and all that, but they're all fucking Polish juice heads, man. So it's like, what do you need to do? You need to fucking be on the juice to fucking play catch up with them?
Maybe.
Aye. Can we talk about like certain grappling matches that you were maybe asked to do?
Yeah, let's go for it, man.
Just talk about juice heads there, no?
He's open about it though.
I know.
He's open about it.
I like it, mate. I like it.
Aye, it's a great fight. So I got a message from Polaris. We fought in Polaris in Sardinia. Myself and Chris went over. Great experience when it was
man.
great. So the bastard.
We basically drank coffee and ice cream every day.
I know, man. We had a good lifestyle. I think I was at about 105 kg on the scales. That was massive. So we've been asked if we'd be interested in fighting the 30th of September against a little unknown fighter. Donald Cerrone, the cowboy.
That's so
amazing, man.
And whereabouts that?
Doing in Ebbw Vale,
Wales, man.
I know. I'm trying to.
Oh, sorry.
So pulling Donald over to Wales is kind of cool, isn't it? Like, we obviously fought in Polaris in Sardinia. They have these shows down in London. They have them in all over like Europe, and they're like, fancy doing it in Wales. And I'm like, aye, but one of the things I'm not concerned about. One of the things I need to worry about is the fact that I want to have another fight by the end of the year, and if I decide to take if I decide to take a fight with Cowboy, then it kind of renders me out of that kind of pool, because the UFC will not let me have that and then fight. Like, so maybe if, like I said, I'll fight in December, they'll be like, no, it's too close.
Yeah, because you were kind of eyeing
I need to be
the Abu Dhabi in October, eh?
Well, speaking with, so one of the great things about working with Adam and your man Lee is he wrote a whole report out about how the camp went, how the cut went, all the conditioning. So one of the things that he advised is he's like, we need the 12 weeks. We need the 12 weeks, the slow process going down to middleweight. He says that's mandatory or he's not going to work with. So we need 12 weeks.
I like that.
So we had to pick October. And I like that because you've got to give this guy his due. I had said on the podcast before how he was very cautious and he'd done everything by the book. Now looking back, it's essential for him to do that. It's essential for his job. It's essential for his name. It's essential for my health. So I do understand that.
Why would you change it? Know what I mean?
I know. It quite clearly fucking works.
I need day 3 months now. So if it's going to be any time in the next 3 months, it's going to be December and the end of November time, isn't it? By the time I get back into training.
So that's. But the good thing about
it all depends.
The good thing about Cowboy is though he's been open that he's took steroids since he retired, and he's obviously put a bit of size on. So it's plus he's got quite an active jiu-jitsu guard in his matches, so he's not shy at grappling. Know what I mean? So I think it would be a great match for you.
He's got a triangle finisher to himself, hasn't he?
Plus, I don't know if we can even talk about that, but you've maybe got to grapple Dylan Dennis in the past as well. So like Polaris obviously think well of you as well, try to get you on the big fights. Know what I mean? I
know it's kind of cool, isn't it, getting these opportunities. Like, that's two huge names in the world of MMA who are now coming to the end of their MMA careers, moved into jiu-jitsu, and they're giving me an opportunity to fight them. I'd bite the hand off to fight both of these guys, but I'm still kind of active in MMA, and I want to kind of push. I think 3 fights a year is ideal. What's your number, Chris, for how many fights a year? Is it 3?
3 or 4, but like I think when you get to that level, it's hard to keep that up, innit?
Aye, but I like the 3 because it keeps me in the straight and narrow with regards to, like, if I don't have anything to focus on, then I I kind of slack a little bit, and then I feel like I'm just training for the sake of
it. Structures your year out, basically, so you don't want to be fun Bobby for 12 months.
I know, and that's the kind of thing that happens to me, because when I get back to normal routine, I'll go out and I'll blast the gym twice a day, every single day, but then I'll come home and I'll blast like 10 beers, and then I'll get fucking high. So I can't wait, because I've not actually got high and had the proper munchies yet, because I've been in like, feel like I started taking edibles. I've been in fight camp, so I've had to like restrain myself from going ponto.
Well, you've done badly at that.
I'm sure
using this podcast for a bad influence.
I'm sure a wee Mexican guy over there can sort you out with something. Maybe a bit stronger though. So
I came off the catamaran yesterday. We got a boat yesterday. It was like a party boat, and the wee guy, as soon as we got to port, the guys like, "You want some?" And I was like, "You like sucking midget sticks?" Come on, it's an old joke, but it's good.
What's the party, bro?
They're offering us drugs all over the place over here. But I'm going to save myself, because this is an exclusive as well, isn't it? Leather Boys in Ibiza.
Oh, aye. only a couple of days.
So one of the things I said was, if I win the bonus, that I would like reward my pals. So me, you, a couple of other guys like Layden and that kind of stuff, we're all going to Ibiza.
I think that's where the real Patreon comes in.
Bring Doug the Thug.
Well, Doug the Thug's coming.
The death of Doug the Thug.
Somebody's clapping cheeks in the toilet in the airplane, and everybody thinks the plane's landed. Starts clapping.
Clap Doug's cheeks.
That's Ross in the bathroom.
Not me. I'm a family man.
So that's going to be another Patreon exclusive, mate. The boys, Leather Boys go to Ibiza. So I think we're going to do that after your show, aren't we, Chris?
Aye.
It's a good way to break it to my missus. It's Patreon. It's for work, eh? I've got to go.
It's got to. And then after that, I've been invited to, like, literally just within the last couple of hours, I've been invited to Pittsburgh to do like I think that's the 29th. So Pittsburgh's the 29th. I've also been asked to go to Singapore with the UFC, doing some meet and greets there.
Nice.
And then I've got
fucking unreal.
And also, like, I don't know if I'm going to do Pittsburgh, but I'm definitely going to do Singapore. And it's one of these things, like, I kind of need to strike when the iron's hot, because in 6 months you might not get the opportunity to do these again.
Aye, of course.
So I'm like, just say, right, I'm going to go to Pittsburgh, I'm going to go to Singapore, and then I've got a signing in Arizona. So one of these, like you know, the signing companies who have the stores and they have the frames and all that kind of stuff.
Aye.
They've invited me out to Arizona to do some fan meet and greet and do some signing.
Nice.
And I'm like, aye, why not? So I've got a busy, it's like, I think it works out probably about 3 weeks when I'm going to be like a couple of days here, then jetting over to bump, just bumping all over the place. And it is like, right, I kind of need to do it when the stock's high.
Right,
so
Ibiza's
the last Ibiza's our time to, you know, before Chris starts his camp, he's going to get mad with it. Before you start your camp and get ready to smash Jamie, you get mad with it. Before I start my camp, I'm getting mad with it. And then after that, it's back to business for the boys.
I know. My back's actually getting a lot better.
Oh, really?
I just keep visualising how much I'm going to fuck this cunt up, man.
But then you're going and sparring all the time.
I know, but I still feel good.
Do you think once does it feel terrible after you spar or not?
No. The next day it feels a bit tender.
Aye.
But I was seeing Andy yesterday again, and we were doing like certain exercise with it and used the laser as well again. And it's just getting better every day, man. I'm just slowly going in. I've still not grappled. He still doesn't want me grappling or wrestling for another couple of weeks.
That's Andy.
But he says I can run next week, which is fucking... I love running. I've not run since Rio in January. So I just feel like I'm going to fucking run through Perry. And like he's a tough fighter and he's got knockout power. But I feel when I can use all my tools, like I'll maul him, man. I honestly do. I think I'll maul him. So...
Well, like, what percentage would you have said you were at in your last fight? Because you weren't even close,
man. At least 45.
Like,
but
and still,
I feel like like my last couple of fights, every Cage Wars fight I've had, I've been limited. So I've adopted this Sean Strickland stand in like kind of a box and like use cage work, and that's half of my game, man. It's half of my, you didn't see me shooting any of their fights or be on the deck kind of. So I feel when I bring everything together and I see, because I've been out for so long with all this shit, I just feel motivated to get better everywhere. Like absolutely, just get better every session I can go to. I'm just got to train it like I've never been away, never trained it before and stuff like that. So I feel confident already, and I'm still 4 months out, man. It's madness, man.
What's your prediction for the Perry fight?
I feel if I wrestle him, I can get him out there quicker if I stand and strike with him, because he feints a lot and he always circles. He always does this back fucking. It's weird. He circles backwards, but it'll just like, it's weird. So if he does that and tries to like strike with me, it could go longer. But if I put him in his ass quick, I could probably punch him out or choke him out in the first round or round and a half.
Just catch him with something and just end the fight.
If I get his back, he's fucked.
Aye, for sure.
Aye, definitely.
Aye.
But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Get him down, flatten him out and just finish it.
I'm just looking forward to getting back to the grind, like proper sessions where I'm burst after it and I'm like sore the next day, because I've no felt like that.
But you were saying before, when you were sparring the day after, your back was fucking cabbaged. So at least now you're seeing some improvement. Like it's tolerable, and obviously once it's tolerable, we can push on for it.
And I'm not getting pain getting up, sitting down, driving, sleeping. I'm not getting pain anymore. So fingers crossed, boys. Fingers crossed.
Well, mate,
a
even
couple more weeks. And
going into that last fight, I remember like driving to the podcast. Even I'd pull the car up. The way you had to like get in the car, I was like, this cunt's going to fight in 2
in
weeks.
my mind,
can't even get in and out the car.
In my mind, I was honestly thinking like, this could be it, man. Like I'm maybe no fight again.
I mind you saying that, and I'd never heard you say something like that before. And then you said it like 2 times within a couple of days, and I was like,
it's terrifying, because
he's never said
it's
stuff
what
like
we
that.
do. Like, as you say, you're on holiday, but you're used to your two sessions a day and your structure. And I see if I don't train, like, and I don't start my day the way I should, I run out of time on that. I see if I don't start my day with
something's on the screen, Jamie,
with my breakfast or like the way it should be. I feel in my mind, I feel like there's like something up, like something's not right.
I'm the same, man. I get a bit snappy in that with the family as well. Like I get a bit shitty with people because I'm like, my routine's been wasted, and I'm like, I come a bit short with people, and I'm like, snap at them, and I know it's not their fault. It's my fault because I've not got to do what I want to do.
Do you think
so I totally get you with that, man.
Do you not think it's maybe that you've not made the most of your day, and you're annoyed at yourself?
It potentially could come down to fear, because like if you've not worked hard enough, you know yourself. So there's that element of like, if we don't work hard enough, then we can get hurt. And the last thing we want to do is get hurt as fighters. And it's not so much about the loss or the loss or being embarrassed. It's about the getting hurt. We don't want to get hurt because we're dads, and the last thing we want to do is get hurt.
Time it.
Oh, I'm going to set up on a Zoom call, right?
He's got to say,
right, cool, man.
That one's timing up.
Anaconda fight where I've joined the team.
They've joined the team, and what is their speciality?
So knee braces, I'm told.
So they are
by Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz is rocking these knee braces.
Says it's basically what's kept him doing it.
So the guy that actually started the brand, he's Scottish, and he actually suffered a ACL injury and was out for 6 months. So these knee braces are actually designed to not to stop this, because if you've got somebody swinging off your legs in jiu-jitsu, then it's not going to happen. But these are going to definitely aid the structural support. And as you said, we've got Joey Diaz.
Stay on. They didn't slip off. That's the big thing. Sweaty in the gym.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Rogan rocking this stuff as well.
Joe Rogan, you've got ADCC athletes that compete with them on as well. They also do more than knee braces, they do some rash guards as well that I've actually worn.
And the rash guards are a bit more of a minimal thing, eh?
Yep.
They didn't have the mad patterns. They didn't have characters on them. They didn't have Pokemon on them. They didn't have
so many things are dug meat, aren't they? Like you look at them and it's like
some are too far.
Anky's doing a deal as well. What is that deal, Ross?
The deal is 2 for $59 on his website.
Perfect.
And the website is anacondafightwear.co. Just .co.
Remember
Why is
that.
it dollar? Why is it holla holla Rudy Volla?
It's in dollars, don't know why.
American-based brand, maybe. They're made there. That's how big Joey Coco Diaz is strapping his shit up.
He doesn't use it for his knees, just in his cack.
But if it's working for these guys, it's working for us.
Well, I've obviously trained with Luke for a long time. He's a good friend. My friend Kieran Byrne as well, who's friends with us. So, his business is going good, and it's perfect for us. It's an MMA podcast at times. So we do jiu-jitsu, we love the brand, so it's a perfect combination.
And we will be rocking it in our Leather Boys breakdown.
We will do. I'll even try the...
So guys, if you are looking for a new rash guard or a knee brace, then check out Anaconda Fightwear. As we said, if you hit the link, hit the bio, there will be links in there to get it, and there's a current deal going on at the moment, so check them out. Anaconda Fightwear.
Anaconda, baby.
Chris,
Yes.
you ever been involved in a non-fault accident?
I have.
Now, I don't know if you know my guys at G4 Claims.
No, tell me more.
I will. So these guys will take all the stress of dealing with the accident, and they will get you on the road a lot quicker. They will deal with all the harassment that you've got to deal with, phoning up people, stressful. You deal with the girls at the front, absolutely tremendous at their job, very friendly, and they'll get you on the road as soon as they possibly can. Stress-free, utmost respect.
How much of my claim will I get?
Well, you'll get whatever's entitled to you, my man.
100% it is. It's 100%.
Oh, is it?
Aye.
Well, keep
So
going.
I was feeding you into that there. Thought you're not.
Do you know the number?
Aye.
The number? No, but I'll give you the number.
You absolutely fucked that.
I fucked it up, I'm sorry.
No, but I've got it on my phone.
I'll tell you the number now.
Tell me the number.
It's 01698 767 172. Or you can visit their website.
I was going to say that. I don't actually have a phone.
Nah. So go on the website, notatfault.com.
What is the company called again?
G4 Claims.
It's a faff. So I were talking about the theory and training, obviously. Like, I don't know, it's like my mentality changes. So see if I've no done my structured day, like if I've no ate what I want to eat in the morning, say I skip eating or something, or I'm with the weigh-in and I don't train, I don't know, it feels like I just get very low, as if I've missed something, or I've no done something I really should have, and see if it tails on through the day, it gets worse, man. And I don't know if it's a mental thing, but it does feel like a mini depression. That's what it feels like.
I hate training at night time because I like to see the now where I'm just training, like I just get up at 5 o'clock, go to the gym, do my thing, and I'm going like, that's the first one ticked off. That's how it feels, like, right, we've got a win there, what we do next? And it's because see, if you start putting that off, like, because going to your work's not a win, you've just got to do it. It's one of the, for me, like, it's just something you've got to go to your work. And then I come home and I sit for a bit, and then I go, all right, gym's not till 6 o'clock, or maybe even 7 o'clock, some of the later classes. By 7 o'clock, you're like, I don't know, okay, I'm quite fucked. Maybe I just stay in.
A lot of questions need to be answered sometimes.
You need to just get, and it's so much easier to train twice a day when you just get, people go, oh fucking hell, training twice a day is hard. It's easier than training once. It's easier to go twice than it is to put it off till the end of the day and go again. It's for me, I don't know. I'm just finding this, what I'm doing now, is far easier than just waiting till the end of the day to train.
No, thank you.
I made in. You got a dick. You got a dick.
Lemon pledge.
Probably the exact same one. But see, when you think about it, what we get today, we're the fucking lucky ones. Know what I mean? We get to do some a day we love, twice a day, 3 times a day sometimes, spend more time with the families, travel the world, etc. So we're lucky, but sometimes my mind doesn't work like that, and it's just like, get a grip of yourself. But aye, good days and bad days, but because I'm starting to come into training 2 or 3 times a week now, hopefully they're in the past, but like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire, man. Like, what you got to do, like when you stop fighting?
I'm going to be fat, mate.
You got to go into jiu-jitsu, or you got to still, you need to still train, obviously, but when you stop actual physically fighting MMA, it's got to be a tough one, tough void to fill, man.
Do you think you would still go and hit pads and that though?
I'd probably fucking just hit my neighbour or
but
something.
You'll coach.
Aye, coaching's different. It's different though, because it's
Does
just
it give you the buzz? I guess that's where being a coach, a high level coach, and going to big shows, or even going to local shows, that's probably where you get that buzz feeling.
aye, it'll bring it back, won't it?
Aye, that's probably what you get as a coach. Like, hitting pad won't really do it for you. And then the last thing you want to do is go in and spar with the young bucks and have them fucking piece you up, do you?
That's
You
it.
seen John St. Pierre talking about that?
Then you end up, if you stay on for a wee bit longer, well, people don't want to retire. Fighters love fighting, and then you don't want to be somebody's highlight reel. And then it's like, there's him being finished again. And you get these fucking nabbies that like hang them up like they don't know shit. Know what I mean? But I don't know. It's don't know until you're in that position.
Tony Ferguson for it.
Oh, for no. Oh, poor Tony. Eh? He was did no bad at one point. He dropped him with a jab type
He
thing.
was saying good, eh? He's saying it was the eye poke fucked him. That's what he's. But come on, man.
I didn't see him getting subbed, man. That was right at the very end.
Bobby Green was good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, mate.
He's jumping about with the
I think we've all kind of seen that fight going that way, Dave.
No, I didn't see him getting subbed, man.
I thought either Bobby Green would come out and like knock him out right at the start of the fight, or just go the distance. I know it came very close to going the distance, obviously, but I was surprised to see Tony being subbed.
Did you see The Rock buying your man a house? You see that, Paul?
I did see that, mate. The Rock is a good guy.
He's a cool guy, isn't he? Obviously, they need to film it on it, but it's still cool, man.
Walking room behind him.
He took up my house.
Oh,
and,
I saw him.
He's like, you've got to meet somebody famous.
There's another video.
He's like, you've got to meet somebody famous here, no? He's like, Rock's kidding on his own phone. He's like, the pictures are cooler there, right? So the guy actually says, "Oh, is that Sadio Mane, who is a former Liverpool player? He's like an African football player." But it was actually a photo of the guy and his family. He's like, "Oh, that's my family," and he's like, "Aye, basically you're home. Basically this is your house," and gave him keys.
Mate, that's nice.
The guy was greeting. I'm just like, The Rock's a guy, man.
Aye,
He's a guy.
Aye.
He marks out a bit sometimes now, but to do stuff like that, because that guy only had like $7, I think it was, before his UFC debut, and then to sell his fight kit, and then they built a well in Zimbabwe or something.
Didn't he keep the money?
Aye, so I'm like, that's cool, man. If I had billions like The Rock, I would do that. It's a tax
I know
write-off.
that's it. See, if you've got that much money, of course you can give away a very small percentage. Yeah.
Then The Rock takes him into the room, and he's like, opens the cupboard, and it's all like the Project Rock vests and trainers, and all that. These are all your stays. Like, I just keep all your clothes. Know what I mean? Brilliant, man.
I was watching somebody, I can't remember who it was though, and they were saying like, see, once you get to a certain level of money, driving a Ferrari is not that interesting.
Aye.
Or like, there's only so much you can do before you're like, right, I'm gonna have to do something with this. I can't just fucking keep it all. I can't keep buying. Like,
that's what the Rolling Stones said though. Like they done that much drugs and fucked that much woman that there was nothing else to do, and they ended up just like getting guys to suck their dicks and all that. They were all shagging each other's wives and all that. Oh, they were just fucked,
put
man.
in one of the songs, eh?
They were just fucked on drugs, man. Traveling the world for 50 years.
I'm sure I brought this up on the podcast before. Aerosmith, Tyler. What's his name? Steven Tyler. Had bought a lassie.
He bought
a young girl off. He bought them off the family, and
Jesus,
she was like ended up being a groupie. He ended up having like marrying her or having sex with her. I'm not 100% sure the whole story, but he ended up buying this girl off their family. She must have been about 15, and then by the time she was old enough, he ended up it's weird. Then she ended up She ended up having sex with like Jimmy Page and all these other like massive rockers. Maybe I'll get some names wrong, but it was definitely Steven Tyler who married this young girl. Young Jamie, can you fire that up and have a wee check?
Bring it up, Jamie, before we start accusing people of really bad sex crimes.
I could go to jail.
There's one thing I hate, it's a fucking groomer. What about the Justin and Dustin fight? I didn't see that going like that as well. See the head kick? Did he look that hard? Or bad being?
See when you watch it, see when the UFC did the camera that's above the cage, his head goes like fucking. Honestly, I thought the same, but when you see it fit above, his head proper like comes over.
See when guys like Gaethje and like Aiden Stevens do this backflip off the cage? Do you just not just watch their knees and think my knees would just blow out if I fucking done something like that, man?
Mate, I can't fucking.
I worry about broken neck. You imagine you mistime the rotation rang and
See the boy doing the squat and break his neck.
No,
Oh,
I
mate,
can't watch it.
it's horrid.
I seen you talking about it. Or was Adam talking about
Adam
it?
did a video about it, but I got sent it in a WhatsApp
So,
group.
have you
He
seen-
just goes down, fuck it.
No, I can't
mate,
watch stuff like that.
So
he's dead?
he's dead,
Oh,
mate. He's
Jesus.
fucking died.
Do you see the guy that comes into the cage? It was like an American local scene in MMA. He's jumping up and down, and he just blows his knee out.
I have, mate.
And it just goes down like that.
He's
And
a
the
big fat guy all dressed in black.
the ref just waves it off. It's the fight's still started.
Oh,
But he
no,
was-
that's that.
It was heavy amped, and it's like when you celebrate too much before the fighting starts, you just blow your knee out, man. I'm like, can you imagine all your pals
I
are
totally
there?
do.
He's like, what's going on?
You'd never live it down.
I know. Like the guy at shot himself in a cage, man, just rolling about his own shit. Oh,
What's so bad?
Was there not a girl that shot herself in the UFC?
It's happened a few times now.
Here, I've honestly, like, I don't know, but early in my career, like, when you're not really got the nutrition right and like you've got nails, like, I've always thought, like, I need a shit here. Like, what if I shot myself in the cage? Like,
I've been
always.
Sick, I've been sick
A
loads
good
of times.
front peep.
Aye.
I've been sick loads of times after fights.
Aye.
Just especially see like all my amateur fights, I was just like coming out the cage and just straight away like, "Ooh." And it's one of the ones you can't even control it. Like
Aye.
you just have a wee sip of water and then like, "Ooh,"
I always see
everything comes-
fighters in the toilets before the shows, like being sick, and
Always
it's just like
after.
they're like
Aye.
a day every fight. And I've never had to like been sick. Or
I've
that.
never been sick before,
Never.
but always after. Like in my early fights, I don't know if it's just like an adrenaline dump or what, because the fight's finished.
It's lactic acid.
Aye, just
It's
making you
lactic
fucking
acid.
throw it up.
So,
That one we
aye,
watched on the
so your body
Patreon.
has to get ready.
Aye, that one we watched
Your
on the
body
Patreon.
has to get ready to know.
Aye. And
Talking about, so I got a message from a good mate, Gary Thompson, regarding a book. Remember I was asking, like, is there a book?
Yep.
Should I stay in the world or leave? So he told me to get a decent ride, which is fucking wild.
I've not read
A
this.
decent ride. Is this a Scottish book?
And no, it's one of Irvin Welsh's. It's about
Oh, right, okay,
Just
okay.
Terry.
Right.
Absolutely fucking brilliant,
Right,
man.
okay.
I've been reading it on holiday. I've got about 20% left of the book to go. It's an absolute... It's brilliant. It's dark. It's so fucking dark. It's unbelievable.
So this is
Some of
in the
stuff.
same world as all the rest of them.
Aye. Juice Terry's a man.
Aye, Just Terry's. Aye, so Just Terry, I spoke about the last time in the podcast. I was like, I'm not really down with Just Terry. He's been a bit of a scumbag. So Just Terry's now got a taxi. And he's the way he orchestrates his taxi business is round how much fanny he can pound in the back of his taxi.
What a man.
So, like, the book...
Well, a
I know,
fake taxi?
Like, honestly, no, he actually doesn't run a taxi, but he's just nailing checks. The guy's got a high sex drive.
I know, but I meant fake taxi like the porno.
I'm not aware of that.
Aye. Because you're a pilgrim in it, mate.
Mate, I'm off it 100%. I'll never watch porn again in my life.
Oh, behave.
Don't say that.
Right,
Don't
so-
say that, mate.
Right,
But
so
aye,
what's the gist of the book then? He's just jumping about shag birds in his taxi.
That's pretty much it.
Aye, pretty much. Aye, pretty much. There's some wee side stories going on, but it's the partner in it.
Is a beggar in
We
it?
all know fucking... No, you've
Same
not
timeline?
heard for Beggar, but you've heard for Sick Boy, because him and Terry make pornos. They're still making pornos. You find one of Terry's brothers in the book, and he's got, so one of the things is Terry's got, the word they use is welt. He's got some fucking welt on him. It's fucking brilliant. Talking about his cock.
Well,
So it's the partner. It's fucking. That's the reason I like this book, is the partner in it is tremendous. So that's what I've been reading. I don't want to waste anything, but the ending it's getting really, really good. Just Terry went from being a guy I disliked in Glue. The last part of Glue I wasn't really liking him, and then see for the start of this book, the guy's a fucking legend again. He's brilliant.
He had a pure traumatic upbringing though. It's like his dad left him when he was wee, and he was kind of like had to look after his brother and that. I'm sure
he
that's.
was talking about just Terry.
Aye.
Right.
I'm sure that is that right, Paul. Aye. It's been a wee while since I've read that book. but-
It's his sister. But what happens is his dad was a shagger as well, and his dad's got like loads of family. So Just Terry's got loads of brothers and sisters, or half brothers and sisters, dotted all over the place. He actually puts a wee part in this book about how he actually shagged one of his sisters. because he didn't know who she was, and it wasn't until after that he found out he was his sister. So he's like, I've got to always be careful with who I'm actually trying to shag with. I've got to ask him a few questions. And then just Terry's got like 4 different kids in this book, and he just refers to one as the ginger bastard, the wee ginger bastard. It's brilliant. He's got 2 young ones, 2 older ones, and he's like, his other son stays in quite a posh area, and then he's like the wee ginger bastard. Doesn't give him a name, just calls him the wee ginger bastard. I love it.
I think if we end up getting Irvin on, you're just got to fucking pure fan out about these books.
I'll probably not even speak. I'll just be sitting there listening, like, tell me more.
I feel like Terry's got to be brought up.
Aye, mate, for sure. Look, mate, I have so many questions.
The juice is up.
So many questions. And I just thought, like, how did you come up with all the side characters, though? Like, mate.
So give me a book, like, what book should I start if I'm starting Irvin Welsh's? I know I've got a couple in house, but I've not read them yet. So what number one?
I would go Trainspotting.
Go in order.
Never go wrong. So I'd hit Trainspotting and then just rattle up to finish the Trainspotting books. So like a Trainspotting storyline with regard to like Dead Man's Trousers, The Blade Artist, Porno, and Skag Boys. I would hit all of them, and then see through that, you end up learning about all these different characters because they dip in and dip out.
Right.
And then I went through them books to reading Filth, which is not really linked, but is linked. It's in the world, but it's a copy end of it. Mm-hmm. And then from that, I then went to Glue, and then now I'm on. So Glue's just about just Terry, Rab Brindle, or Birrell, sorry.
I think the 2 I've got is Porno
guys.
and Ecstasy. I think that's the 2 I've got.
So Porno's the second. I'm sure Porno's 2. I'm sure you're supposed to read it Trainspotting Porno. That's the one in 2.
Right, I'll start with Trainspotting then.
Because Trainspotting 2, the film, is Porno.
Right, okay.
Well, loosely, but it's
loosely,
loosely. But aye, that's your.
So that's the order. That's the order. I would read the Trainspotting sort of lineage, and then fade that because they all like in the Glue, like Renton's in it. Begbie's in it. There's all these characters come in, and then they just dip in, but you know who they are. You're like, fuck, there's a beggar boy there, and then they disappear. And the same with this book, like you'll go to like a pub and they'll be talking about somebody, and there was a situation, and I'm sure it was Glue, and it was clearly Begbie, but they don't mention his name, where they rob one of the people that come for the festival. So he's at the bar. Mm-hmm. And the boy starts a fight with him and ends up robbing him and then disappearing. And it just sounds like Begbie. The way this is set up, it might not be, but
it kills Chizzy the Beast.
You see all the characters coming in.
That's another one. He kills a boy.
That's right.
Begbie kills a boy, and then they make out himself that he stabs himself with a screwdriver after it, and that. And then like Renton's got a brother who gets killed. He gets blown up by the IRA. He's in the army.
Aye.
Fucking get.
I'll read that.
Aye, and then he shags one of them's wife, mate. Mind that bit after the funeral. Right. Shags his wife's brother after the funeral. And that.
He also gives his disabled brother a hand job.
He's got a disabled brother. That's it. That's
he's got a disabled brother, and he gives him a hand job to like. I'm sure it's the news.
Just to help him out.
Just to help him out. He's like, I can see the wee bastard. He's all fucking tense. So I just help him out, begin with a wee hand, a wee chunk. Like.
Aye, but then there's like I can't even remember if it's in Trainspotting or Porno where Renton gets caught getting sucked off by a guy. Honestly, he's in a like a shooting gallery, obviously just junkies lying about everywhere, and he goes down to London and he's getting sucked off by a guy, and somebody walks in and was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And they're just like, So
just crazy stories, man.
It's good. Like
there's a few trannies that would maybe get it. Remember they used to do that show? It was a woman, but it was a guy, but it was dressed as a woman.
What one?
I think it was on like Sky One or something. It's on about Merlin or some shit.
They would dress up a guy like a woman.
No, it was like a tranny, but she was like it was a tranny, but she was like a smoke show.
Are you supposed to say that word? What's the right word, Jamie?
I don't give a fuck. But it was an actual programme. There's something about fucking Merlin or some shit. I don't know.
There's something about Dave.
Basically, man. What was I going to say? There was something else about the UFC at the weekend. Who else? Who was the co-main?
Derek Lewis with the abs.
Derek Lewis.
Oh, Derek Lewis.
What about him taking shots off in a DX chop? Amazing.
I know, brilliant, man.
That's him a free agent, man.
Aye.
Fucking insane.
Why is he not
wrap him up, man?
What's the problem? What's happened?
Maybe they were just testing the water and maybe like some people maybe ask for more money, and then maybe if they don't need him, they'll just see you later, Derek.
I thought he was on a good wage as well.
Oh, he will
no?
be. He'll be on about fucking
He will be,
400 grand
aye.
or something.
So Jorge Masvidal, or Big George as we call him, was on
I saw
Brendan
this.
Schaub's podcast with him,
Aye.
and he'd asked about fighting the Black Beast, bare knuckle, and Brendan Schaub's like, aye, I'm down with that. And it's why they went, I think you'd be surprised.
Oh, man.
So I can't see.
He only agreed to that on screen, mate. No way, that's got to happen, man.
But they offered him Tito as well. Jorge said, what about getting you Tito Ortiz?
Aye.
And as soon as he said Tito Ortiz, he was like, oh, definitely.
Aye,
As if like, oh, fuck, I'll
that would be a
massacre
bit
him.
better for him.
Aye.
Aye, but the flying knee for fucking the Black Beast.
But mate,
I know.
Wait, what about that? For the knee, it broke all the guy's teeth and what?
oh, did it really?
Aye.
I never saw it, but fucking hell.
Pereira, aye, that's what I was going to say. First of all, we'll talk about the other Pereira, missing weight with like 4 pounds. So Wonder Boy then didn't apparently not being paid yet as well, man. So
What's your take on it?
I think it
What's your take on it?
he should get paid for making weight. That's not his fault. The other guy,
And what about him not taking the fight?
well, he brought up the Darren Till thing and a few other things that's happened before, and he's lost fights because of it. So he's the guy. He's the one stepping in there. So it's his call. You know what I mean?
Right.
The other guy missed it with 4 pounds. I know he's a big dude in that, but that's down to him, man.
That's not that close, eh?
Aye.
4 pounds is no that, like, that's quite a bit off.
Aye. So nah, I'm in Wonder Boy here, and I think the UFC should at least pay him his show money, at least, because he stepped in the scale at 170. You know what I mean? As he always does. He's
Never missed, I don't think.
So aye, that's my take on it. man.
I'm the same, especially when he outlined about like Darren Till and everything. It's hard not to agree with him.
Paul, you're a professional that's never missed weight, unlike myself. But so what's your take?
No, I agree. Like, I agree. Especially see if you're a guy like Wonder Boy who's made your money through MMA, you don't have to take this fight. There's no incentive. Whereas if you're a guy who's in the lower tier of the UFC array, then you're definitely taking this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the UFC just expects you to take this fight because they're like, well, we've got a show to run, so make it happen. Whereas Wonder Boy, as I said, has the ability to be like, no, I'm financially fine. I'll take my show money and I'll walk off into the sunset and I don't have to fight. So I agree with Wonder Boy.
And
but
what do you think he's obviously making another run for the title, so it's like it's a big deal. Like, you give that away, you lose a fight, you're away down the ladder again. So it's
more fights, more damage, more.
So
more
now he's called for Usman for MSG. Wonder Boy's asked for Usman.
I've not seen that.
Aye, today. So
no.
He's still one in the mix, so he needs somebody big, and Usman will put him in there. But the Pereira fight would have been a fun one as well, because they're quite.
But it was good to watch.
Aye,
it's good to watch.
Yeah, very
both technically good. It was like back to the other Pereira. That was some fight.
So how did you score that one? Because I thought Big Jan probably took it.
I felt pretty
dominant first round. Clearly,
I'm
with the body triangle and stuff like that.
I'm going to
word it a different
way. I'm going to word it a different way, right? When he fought Ankalaev got round 4 and 5 given to him based on basically what Jan did to Pereira.
Yep.
So it's like, I thought in that fight the control time counted, but in this one it didn't. I don't know. I think Jan's had a wee. I didn't like to say
he looked so burst, man. It didn't look good for him. Plus Pereira was landing.
He was
the
landing.
kicks.
He was
landing.
for sure kicking it.
But I don't know, man. Like, how did you score the first one? Because he had the back control for a full round. The body lock. He's trying to finish him. That's a dominant round. But then the calf kicks were adding up. And then it just looked like Jan got the takedown at the very end of round 3. Obviously, I don't think it was enough to take that round though. So I don't know. It was definitely close. Split decision, definitely. But I thought Jan maybe just done enough. And
I felt like as well in his fight with Magomed, I said this, Jan's calf kick should have counted so much more because Magomed was at a point where he was hopping. So I don't know. There seems to be a lot of inconsistency in the scoring now.
It looks like Pereira's got to get another title shot though.
Aye.
He's just come into the sport and he won the middleweight, lost the middleweight. Now he's got to fight for the light heavyweight.
So who's he going to fight at light heavyweight for that though? Magomed?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if they'll bring Yuri back.
I think Magomed. He's got
Walker
to fight
Johnny
Walker. isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Aye.
Fuck, I've never seen
So
that.
I think Yuri's just back, so they'll probably fire that unless. Aye, probably Yuri and Pereira for the title. I would
Where's
say.
Rakic? Where's Rakic?
I don't
in
know,
this,
mate.
He's
Something
always-
to do with an injury.
He's always injured, man.
Aye. So, is it a shoulder or a knee? I wonder if
I thought it was the leg.
I think Jan.
Yuri's
think,
the shoulder.
Yuri was the shoulder.
Aye.
Aye.
And what about Big Jamal?
Nah,
That's
Big
him.
Jamal's not happy at
he's
Ariel.
But he's just like, well, that's your Achilles hurt. Fuck off. Come on.
But he injured himself playing basketball, so that's on him as well. You know what I mean? Like you're a fighter, you can't be fucking. I would have kept it quiet. I would have said it happened in the gym. Somebody hooked me. I wouldn't say I'm playing basketball. Not me.
It probably did happen in the gym. It was probably just a build up, and it was damaged and damaged and damaged. And then he played basketball, and that just tipped it over.
But he was overweight, man. So that's not what helped him.
He wasn't in shape.
He was looking heavy.
I think there's something going on. See when people are getting injured, and especially just looking at light heavyweights, and just dropping the title. There's something no right about that with me. I don't know what it is, but there's something that doesn't sit right with me.
They probably don't want to fight Ankalaev or something like that.
No, but there's something going on in the background with that. There's no other time that in the last couple of months that we've seen champions drop the title when they're injured. There's something else going on.
Right.
So I said the same thing about Yuri. Why he done it. I don't think it was a shoulder injury. I think the month before he fucking relinquished his title, he had 50 drug tests in a month.
Aye.
Like, that's fucking weird, mate.
Aye, but he passed them all.
You didn't know if he did because USADA didn't announce it anymore. So we don't know. So when did Yuri Prohaska last fight? Are you able to find that, Jamie?
Well, he fought for the title against Glover.
Aye. But when was it?
I don't know.
What
Because
was that about?
It was a great fight, wasn't
A
it?
year and a half ago?
so see if it lines up to he doesn't
Aye,
fight
he's a
for
winner.
a full year.
Who wins out of Yuri and Alex Pereira? Potan. That's a good fight, innit?
July 11, 2022.
July last year. That's not long ago.
So what would be another? So say if he was to fight Pereira for a title fight, right? That's going to be another 4 months, really. So what's 4 months for now? So he's had an 18-month ban.
Yeah. You're just full of conspiracy theories, Ross.
But mate, do you
Ross
know,
believes
do
in
you not
aliens
think
and
that
that.
looks like it lines up?
Are you still with Paul?
We've lost Paul.
We lost Paul. Up, oh, yeah.
Oh, he's back. Do you not think that sounds like it lines up? I know obviously Paul's not going to go say, aye, fucking he is doing that. But what I'm saying is, if TJ Dillashaw hadn't come out and admitted he'd been caught, we'd never have known.
Aye.
I'm just saying.
He's back.
So, what do you think? Well, Ross, ask a question first. What you were just saying. There.
So I'm just saying, if TJ Dillashaw, I'm not saying you have any evidence Yuri did.
Spit it out, bro. Come
No,
on. You're backtracking
I'm
now.
not
You're doing Homer
backtracking.
Simpson in the
I'm
bushes.
not backtracking.
Wait,
I'm saying it just looks like it looks. He got 50 drug tests or 40 something drug tests in a month, then relinquished his title, and then it's going to be 18 months to 2 years before he fights again. If TJ,
surely that would get out somehow.
he'd have to say, if TJ Dillashaw didn't admit to being caught, we'd never have known. He could have just went, I had to get a shoulder surgery. So shoulders were fucked. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Look into it, bro.
Maybe.
But if it works out to be 18 months, so your ban starts at 4 years, they'll reduce it to 2 years, and if you cooperate, they'll make it 1 year to 18 months.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Paul, what did you think of Potan's grappling against Jan? I don't think he's here.
We've lost them again.
What did you think of it, Ross?
I thought it was good.
It was good,
It was
wasn't it?
better than I thought it was
good
going to be.
defence.
It was better than I thought. Like I didn't think he would do as good a job.
Aye.
He's back.
Right. Paul, what did you think of Potan's grappling against Jan on Saturday? Were you impressed with it?
I wasn't impressed with it. No, I thought it was substandard.
Good
And then
defence,
I'm
at least. Good defence, at least.
Like obviously he trains way over, so he's going to have good jiu-jitsu, and it's the same. Like everybody thought Jan had good jiu-jitsu against. Remember he fought Izzy? What was that, about 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, he's just going to take him and do him southern. Like, no, he can't do that. Like, I don't know how good you think Jan's jiu-jitsu is. It's not that great, and it showed in Saturday night when the two guys looked like average grapplers. Let's be honest.
One rounder for you,
That's
though.
my thing.
You fight them both on the same night.
One rounder for you.
Aye. Like jiu-jitsu, man, I feel pretty confident in that world that I'll be able to take these suckers.
I thought Jan it's not that it's jiu-jitsu. I think he was good top heavy guy against Izzy. He just kind of stayed on top, and
I felt bad for him. I kind of. I like Pereira as well, so I'm not unhappy at him getting the nod, if that makes sense. But I just kind of felt like Jan's not really had the rub of the green the last two fights. Like the Magomed fight, I felt like people seem to think that was like a big Stonewall victory for Magomed. I think it could have went to Jan, and I definitely think that fight could have went to Jan. So I think he's had two now where he's just kind of been unlucky. You know,
close fights as well.
Aye, and he's fighting the best guys, so of course the fights are close. But I did feel for him. I was just a bit like, he could have maybe he didn't get the nod the last one. He might have got the nod this one type of thing. So shit, I like Jan. I really do like Jan. So
he wasn't too happy. He thought he was robbed. These thieves, he was calling them thieves.
You know what to do, man. You need to put in the work.
You need to finish those fights, mate. You need to finish those fights.
I know. It's a bad one. Well, it's not a bad one really, because like you say, they're the two best guys. Came up on the screen again, Jimmy.
Right in it.
So
what, Jamie? That's an on 5, P-Dog.
Right, well, we can round it up then, mate. We've spoke MMA, we've spoke holiday, we've spoke their fights, we've spoke what we were up to.
What's on what times are there? What's on the menu today? And I don't mean food.
25 minutes past 10, so I'm going to go out there, hang with the fam, shut the curtain because it lets in too much light. I'm going to do some surfing with my oldest.
Oh, some surfing.
Get that windswept look in my hair, you know, that salt spray where I'm like. We'll go and do some water sports today. And I'm just probably.
When are you back
there's
home?
only really one thing you can do.
Still another.
I think I'm back Thursday. I'm back Wednesday or Thursday, so we'll get another podcast then. And then it's back to the grind for us, isn't it?
Keep it high,
some
mate.
Jiu-jitsu. I used wanting to do some training in the dungeon.
Of course, mate. Of course.
Absolutely.
Been a while since I got to grapple used to. I'd have preferred you like your middleweight frame to grapple weight, to be fair. Are you back up to 100 kilogram now?
I'm not even back up, mate. I'm about 98 now.
Aye.
Which isn't too big.
That's not bad, man.
I know.
You'll probably need to stay like that for life, for your career.
No, I reckon I'll shoot back up a wee bit. I've been doing strength while I've been here, so lifting the big boy weights. I forgot how much you can lift after a fight. I went fired on my usual 220 on the bar and was like, nearly blowing my stink ball out, man.
Sean Clancy fights tomorrow as well, by the way.
He does, Neil Clancy, man. So I'm looking forward to that. I wasn't available. I wasn't available to be the last part of his camp, but the kid's put in the work. He's absolutely smashed it. He is fighting a guy who's wild and just kind of bursts forward. So
that works for him.
He's smart enough. He's smart enough.
I think
to
there's
see
a
that
link,
coming.
so I'm going to watch it.
Aye,
I'm going to watch it. I like Sean, so rooting for Sean.
What about the boys?
The rest of them are all dicks, especially Danny Gray.
What about the ADCC? There's a lot of guys fighting on that, man.
Fucking Pedro, man.
Boys life straight and centre.
What age is Pedro?
Pedro's 54, I think.
Is he? Fuck.
Aye, he is.
It's impressive, man.
Maybe older.
Nah.
Aye, he is, mate. He's
Is
past
he really?
50, aye.
That's quite impressive, to be fair.
And I've got a lot of time for Peter, man.
Aye, I love him, eh?
Aye,
He started it the first gym I started it, and I swear to God, when I was like 13, 14 years ago, and he's one of the guys that used to have somebody come in, you pray they when they come in. Like at the end moved on to like Neil Laird for me as the years went by. But when I was younger, Peter would just hold you down, pick a limb, and there's none you could do. It would just like Americana that, I'll take that, and I would watch the door like, hopefully Peter's not on the day, and he would come in. I'm like, bastard.
I mind him coming into the gym just
But
fucking everyone up.
See now when I'm in tap him now, I know that. I'm like, remember a decade ago you used to bully me, you know? And now he's getting old now, but it's good. He's a jiu-jitsu brown belt, he's a judo black belt, so it's good that he's gone back on the mat, man.
100%. Guy's up on Monroe every weekend, man.
Aye.
He's fucking
He's a
travels
good
far
guy.
and wide, hill climbing, and
He's a good guy, man. So I'm rooting
like
for him.
him.
But Paul, you know the guy
sorry.
that he's grappling against. You've
I've grappled with him. I've rolled with him at Mob's gym. Very, very good jiu-jitsu, very strong. Got a good guillotine. His guillotine was super tight. And I guess it's just been about the scene and like knowing guys and going to different gyms and having a grapple. But the guy, although Peter's older, this guy's a wee bit older as well. But I love to see that. The two guys are matched up. Very, very similar style-wise. That strength, that old man grit. So it's an interesting fight.
Do you think that'll be us in our 50s, bro? Do you think we'll be on the mats at 50s? Grappling. You'll get like Andy Clamp and you when you're like 55 each, like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. The rematch.
There was he's looking forward to seeing the Elliot against Chris Duncan.
I'm fucking her, man.
How did
That's
that come
a good fight, man.
So apparently I didn't know about it until he seen the post. It was like, oh, I guess I'm in with Chris Duncan then.
Right.
So Elliot's a great grappler, man.
Elliot's a great grappler, but you know, Chris is strong and he can nullify people with just being.
He's a fighter.
Aye. So that's a tough one to pick for.
Be hard to get him doing.
Aye, but Elliot's got a great guard as well. So that's a tough one. I could see that maybe going the full 10 minutes, mate. I can, and maybe into overtime.
Aye.
And then it comes down to maybe wrestling where Chris will try and power double through him. So Elliot needs to maybe work a wee bit of
wrestling. We're going to have to lean towards Chris. Like he is good, mate. I've seen him just getting up off the mat.
See,
and
he's a beast, man.
He's very good.
See, I think it'll be a mistake if Chris takes Elliot down.
Aye.
If Chris takes Elliot down with a power double, then Elliot's subbing him. Elliot's got one of. I'm not taking credit for it, but Elliot's triangle is very similar to the same triangle defence I use. It's very, very hard. It's very sneaky.
Did you teach him that triangle, bro?
And showed the kid everything he knows. He's also got that good back take as well. He's got two moves brilliant. That if you're in these positions, he's going to sub you. Like the kid subbed me.
Aye. If he's on your back, you're not getting a ass, man.
Aye, you're done.
Aye, Duncan's never subbed me. Elliot has.
That's a decent marker, to be fair.
I used to teach Elliot in the Thursday night beginners course, by the way. That's back in the day, mate. So I maybe have taught him that back date. You can take a triangle, Paul.
Aye.
It's brilliant. It's a great matchup.
I used to like go with him. It's brilliant, and this show, this ACDC show that ADCC show that Mob's putting on is absolutely brilliant. Great for guys to showcase their talent, and it starts sort of a rivalness of like gyms going against gyms, and I think that's a good thing. Like as opposed to just having a interclubs, but no interclubs like jiu-jitsu matches where it's just a competition where you have like maybe 3 fights and you'll get a medal. Whereas I like this, it's very man on man. Sounds gay, super gay, but it's I like the setup of it. So it's like as it stands now, it's one gym. How many victories will this gym get? How many victories will this gym get? Who's the best jiu-jitsu gym in Scotland? That's how it feels like to me, and that kind of stuff's brilliant. I like that. That's what gets me excited, because as a nation of Scottish jiu-jitsu practitioners, man, it's what we're good at.
It's pretty much,
we are outstanding at jiu-jitsu.
It's booming now, though, isn't it? Like the grappling, it's booming in Scotland.
Aye.
It didn't used to be, man.
Like I seen a picture of the Clark brothers, and you're like, I think you've got like 3 or 4 black belts on the mat regularly. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? When you look at how many black belts they've got at higher level, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and the same for the hit squad. There's like 2. So
I'll be there soon, man. I'll be there soon. As soon as you give me a black belt,
that's what I mean. Like, but remember when we started, there was like 1 black belt in the whole of the UK, the whole of Scotland.
Aye.
And then I like. So black belts are really hard to come by.
Ricky Gillen.
And then now, unless you buy it, unless you pay the money. But now you're seeing this, all these new black belts coming through. All the guys that started 10, 15 years ago are starting through in jiu-jitsu. What are you, Chris, about maybe like a month off getting a black belt or something like that? You must be damn close to getting a black belt now, man.
There's a grade in September, so Fingers crossed, man.
It's not even that though. Every class is rammed. You go to a gym and it's like whatever night of the week jiu-jitsu. I was in there was it last night 7 till 8:30 or whatever it is. Fucking rammed. Same with Tuesday night 7 till half. Or say the class is 7 till 8. It's rammed, and then you can stay for as long as you want to roll. Boys are still there rolling at 9 o'clock, and it's still busy. And you're like, fucking cunts love this, eh?
Right, P-Dog. We need to hit the hay, man. I need to go and spar. It's nearly time.
No worries. Are we going to set up a wee, let the boys go a wee fun activity when I get back?
Aye, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Right.
All right.
Get your mind thinking. What would you like, man? A wee bit of go-karting, archery, fucking top golf, something like that?
What about paintballing?
Paintballing, aye. Love it. Big Bang Theory style.
I'm in. Let's do it. Against
right.
Pick out fucking 5 Patreon subscribers or something.
Aye.
We'll go against them.
Aye, we'll just fucking shoot fuck at them.
Then beat them up.
They've no get guns.
They can all pay £500 a head to come and play paintball with us.
And pay for a day out.
There you go.
That's
There
it,
you go. That's it sorted.
Pay a motor off or something. Right, man.
Right, guys. I'll speak to you soon, man. I'll see you soon, right?
Right, enjoy the rest of your holiday, man.
Bye bye.
See you soon, man. I will do.
See you
Goodbye,
soon,
boys.
Jamie McDonald. Survive.